All right, gang. So we're going to be on page 23 of the percent packet, unit 3, page 23. What we're going to do today is just to get back to practicing like changing or converting percents to fractions and decimals and models. So we haven't done this in a couple days. So again, we're going to come back to it and just kind of refresh our memory of how to do this. So I'm going to do a sum with you, and then you'll do some on your own. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, it's the same first thing that I would do if I was taking this test, is I'd write the 9 numbers on the top of the page. Here we go, the 9 numbers. These are going to be very helpful to us as we do this page. 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, 20, 25, 50, 100. Those are the 9 numbers. Now, those are not the only numbers we can use or we're going to work with, but they're going to be very helpful because those are the factors of 100. Those are going to help us divide 100 or get to 100. All right, the 9 numbers. So let's check out number 1. So it looks like at number 1, they give us the percent and the decimal. We're trying to find the fraction in the model. So percents are always out of 100. So again, if you want to try this one on your own, go for it. But 50% would be 50 out of 100. Now, we're not done yet because we have to simplify. And this is when the 9 numbers can come in handy. I know we can simplify 50 hundredths, but the question is, by what? We can divide by 1. That's not going to do anything. We can divide by 2. We can't divide by 4. We could divide by 5. We could divide by 10. We couldn't divide by 20. We could divide by 25 because 25 goes into 50 and 100. But we could also divide by 50. So divide by 50 on the top, divide by 50 on the bottom. 50 divided by 50 is 1. 100 divided by 50 is 2, which makes sense because 50% is a half, and so the fraction we'd get would be a half. Now, for this step, we're going to make a model. We're going to shade in 50 out of 100. I'm going to use the highlighter, and I'm going to shade in 50. You can use a highlighter too. You can use a pencil, but just when you use a highlighter, kind of like you can kind of do 10 at a time, which is nice. Do a little row of 10 there. So we shaded in half of the squares, 1 out of 2, or 50%. 50%. All right. If you want to try these on your own, you can. I'm just going to do the first page here with you, and then you can do the next side on your own. But if you want to try these on your own too, go for it. Now, we have the model here. We have the fraction. Well, I can't write a percent. This is definitely not 4% because percents are out of 100. This is only out of 5. So we have to get to 100 to make it into a percent. I'm going to write that a little clearer because it was kind of sloppy. So I got to get to 100. We're thinking, how can we get from 5 to 100? Well, how many nickels are there in a dollar? There's 20. So 5 times 20 will get us to 100. 4 times 20 would be 80. Now that makes sense because there are 80 squares filled in here. There are 80 filled in. So 80 out of 100 would be 80 hundredths, or 8, if you want to write that as 8 tenths, either one's fine, or both would be better, I guess. 80 out of 100 is 80%. So again, the fraction is kind of key there. Once you get the fraction to 100, you're all set. Okay. All right. Now, when we look at the next one, 68%, well, they've already simplified the fraction for us, so we don't have to do anything there. Well, I mean, if you wanted to, you could say, all right, well, multiply by 4, multiply by 4, and you should get 68 out of 100 because it is 68%. So you don't have to do this step. I mean, this again, because the fraction's already simplified. But 68% or 68 hundredths is 68 hundredths. So it's really important that you do not write 17 hundredths there. This is not 17 hundredths because that number is not out of 100. So you would have to change it to out of 100 to write the decimal. All right, now it's my favorite part, making the model, because I'm using that highlighter. Again, you can use the highlighter. It's the easiest way to do it. We're going to shade in 6 10s and 8 1s. That's 4 10s, whoop, whoop, 5 10s, 6 10s, and 8 1s. That's 68%. More than half. Just a few more than half. All right. Feeling good. Feeling good about this. All right, this one's tricky. You got to be really careful with this. This is 5 hundredths. 5 hundredths. The model also shows 5 out of 100. So I'm going to start with the fraction. It's 5 hundredths. Okay. And let's see. We want to get that 5 hundredths. We want to simplify that. Well, what of the 9 numbers can we divide by? Can't do 1. Can't do 2. Not 4, but we can do 5. 5 is one of the 9 numbers, so we can divide by 5. Divide by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. There's a 20 nickels and a dollar, so 100 divided by 5 is 20. What percent would this be? Well, this is 5 out of 100, which would be 5%. There it is. There it is. So we've completed the front. We did that together. And the back, you're going to do on your own. I'm just going to kind of go through. I'm going to give you some tips on the back. So I would keep watching here. I'm going to give you some tips that might help you. Tip number 1 would be to write the 9 numbers. Write the 9 numbers on top. I'm also going to help you label this. This is going to be percents on this column. This is going to be fractions and decimals. And of course, that's the model. All right, so any tips? This one, again, make sure you simplify the fraction. Okay, this one here, again, you can simplify that fraction for this row, number 6. For this one here, remember to make this into a percent. That's not 2%. You got to get that out of 100 first. Once you do that, you can make the percent. This one here, make sure you simplify the fraction. Again, those are just the things that most people would miss doing that one on their own. So hope you enjoy. If you have any questions while you're working on this, let me know. If not, we'll go over the answers for these tomorrow in class. But just make sure you have page 24 done as well, because I'll be checking to make sure you tried that one out. All right, have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.